the kind of run of South American events that are going on right now, Jon, that you're kind of pro, what they call it, the Golden Swing. I obviously never went there because it was played on the wrong service for me.
I like the Golden Swing. Yeah, let's get to Andreeva in a second. But the other big winner of these last 2 weeks, I think, have been these South American tournaments. And these are precisely the kind of events that we're going to get blasted away by this Premier Tour that we talked about last year. And you say, look, are they majors? No. Do they have to pay money to get the top players? Yes. But you look at these highlights, you watch this on Tennis Channel, and the stands are full, the fans are really knowledgeable, there's passion, there's yelling, there are players getting mad at fans. It's really like a lot of flavor and color. I have been told that in the next few weeks, we will finally get this announcement about the 10th 1,000 level event. This is the one that Saudi Arabia has made as conditional for the, for the sports, for the Saudi Arabian money bag. We need a 10th event. Saudi Arabia is going to get it. It's likely going to be in February, which will save Craig Tiley and his January. We'll create a little Middle Eastern swing in February with Dubai and Doha. So those events might actually not be as upset as they are right now. Anyway, what does this all mean? It's a non-mandatory event, so players won't have to go, but it will be devastating to the other February events, not least the ones in South America. So sort of a bit of a storyline, but I think that the events in South America really distinguish themselves, and I think people realize in some ways this is pro tennis at its best. Engaged fans, they're watching doubles, they're doing the wave. This is not sort of the half-empty stands with a lot of big prize money at the end. I mean, this is really sort of an engaged an engaged atmosphere, and I worry what is going to happen to that when you have 3 events, including 1,000 level in 2028 or whenever it starts in Saudi Arabia with that 1,000. Thoughts?
So I'm positive. I can only be positive that if they're adding another whole swing and another Masters 1000, that they're obviously taking something away at the back end of the schedule, right?
Yeah,
right.
There's
right.
I don't think so.
Right. So okay. So they're just basically the ATP with adding this, and then just putting. I mean, there were 4 days between sanctioned events this year, and frankly, it's just bullshit. And I don't believe anything they say as far as wanting to fix the schedule, because actions and words. So fine, do whatever you want. Another Masters 1000, non-mandatory, like whatever. But this lip service about we have to fix the schedule and it's a priority. Nope. Not enough. And there's a simple fix, guys. You want me to fix everything?
Please.
Okay. What do you got?
We've talked about it before. JW, just back of the napkin guess, how many people qualify for World Tour finals using 250s? Like how 250s are irrelevant to the 8 players that are qualifying for World Tour finals. They don't affect qualification. And in the 1 in every 10 years that someone might sneak in by 20 points on a 250, should that dictate anything as far as scheduling? Bueller?
I know where you're going.
Bueller?
Keep going. You're right. I mean, 250s, let's just be clear. For the top players, if they're playing them at all, if they're even eligible,
they're getting paid.
It's just a cash grab.
Correct.
It's just a pay. Yes, it's a payday.
Or they're playing one in Australia before just to get matches after a long layoff. Those are the 2 use cases for 250. I wasn't sitting around as a player who was top 10 in the world or top 5 or top 3 going, I need to play this for my ranking. No, I need to play Brisbane before Australia because I've been off for 6 weeks. Or it's a cash grab. Move World Tour finals up 1 month. All the 250s in the fall. Put them on the back end of World Tour finals, right? Put them in November. Therefore, it is absolute insanity that the best players in the world, the top 8 players in the world who play the most, who play 70, win 70 matches in a year, also have to play the longest. These are your assets that are creating revenue for the rest of the tours. Singles, doubles, everything. These are the people creating the most revenue. They're the ones who should be able to decide at the end of the year if they're going to play more or pull it back based on a heavy workload. Conversely, the 250s, if you put a month of 250s at the end of the year, 5 weeks of 250s at the end of the year. Run those through Thanksgiving at the third week of November. Run those through, because that's a choice. If I'm 70 or 80 in the world, 90 in the world, I want to play because those 250s matter for my ranking. Like, they really matter, the points. And do you think the 250s are going to get better fields if they're the only show in town, or if there's one in Chicago and one in Singapore? Do you think those fields are going to be stronger with or without the competition of 500s, 1000s, and World Tour finals going against them?
Boom.
Who loses in this situation?
No one. And those deals, and those 250s can make deals with the top players if they want, right?
If I'm a tournament director of a 250 and someone's trying to carve out an entire month where I get focus from Earth and from the players, and you're going to get Rublev sneaking in there to play. These guys can't help themselves. You're going to get really good players that are going to sneak in and play. And at that point, that's their call. They're not mandatory events. They can go play if they want to. No one's saying the top 8 players can't play in them. It just has no impact on World Tour finals. And yet we treat it as if it's this thing that, we can't have, World Tour finals has to end the year. We can't have tournaments after it. Bullshit. Anyways, that wasn't scheduled conversation. That was not on my notes.
I have a quick question to that though. All right. So with this new 1000 that's potentially going to be in February, what would your schedule then be if you were active right now? How would you treat it if it wasn't mandatory?
I don't know. Because I wouldn't. I don't know. The only thing that makes me think I'm not mad at the 1000 in February, to be clear. Like, I do think the Sunshine Double, that can probably stay, because I don't know that a lot of those players are going to want to go play on a hard court in Dubai against someone ranked 50 in the world. I just don't think that's the case. I do think they would probably do themselves a favor by switching that to a hard court at some point. And I know that's not the thing, but there's not a lot of top players that want to go hard clay, grass, hard. Like, the switching of the surfaces matters. I would probably go over there and play. There's still probably some place to play Dallas and then go over and play something. I don't know is the answer, but that's a choice. It's non-mandatory, so I have no issue with it. If I choose to not go and I'm not getting those points, that's on me. This thing with World Tour finals being the third week of November and therefore being precious about everything is so stupid to me. And I can't get a great answer. And I've texted around to people who work for the boards, work for the ATP, and I'm like, why wouldn't this work? Well, we'd have to move a bunch of stuff. Great. Let's have surgery.
Yeah. The one pushback is these events say, listen, I didn't just buy an event. I bought a week on a calendar, and I wanted this, whatever, in August, right before the U.S. Open. I don't want an event in October, but I think you raise a really good point, which is your player fields will be better.
So much better.
It makes a lot. I think this is, we can go as deep or as shallow as you want. I think this makes a lot of sense, and I think this is the rare wins across the board. Back channel and sort of cluster all of these 250s. There are going to be some injured players that want points. There are going to be some players who, hey, I could use, they'll get a better field, and they won't have to pay as much in appearance fees, and they won't get obscured by all the withdrawals and everything that comes with having a mid-season event. And players can go, and it makes a lot of sense. Too much sense for tennis. You're
also going to get a little bit of a hype mechanism where, oh shit, Fonseca just ran off 3 250s in a row. Going into, like, the spotlight can be on up and coming players, comebacks. Like, you can actually tell a story during these events, as opposed to them they're basically all just ignored, in the lead up to World Tour finals, because they don't have any significance. No one cares. Think about the players think about who we've just talked about in this pocket. Wouldn't Fonseca at age 18, as he tries to build some buzz and get some match play, that's the kind of player who would play a 250. Yes.
Amanda Anisimova took a mental health break.
Yes.
She tried to sort of figure out what the sport means to her. Now she's got to get her ranking back. That's a player who would play a 250 in November. It makes a lot of sense.
And you're going to get...
We can solve doubles. We'll solve doubles in the next 15 minutes, but that's great.
Oh, it's okay.